In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 lessons I learned from Russell Brunson that made me millions. And whatever you do, you want to stick around until the very end, because the 4th lesson that I'm going to be sharing with you is the most mind-blowing one of all. That lesson alone has literally made me millions of dollars. Let's get right into it. So if you're somehow not familiar with who Russell Brunson is, he's the co-founder of a company called ClickFunnels, which is an incredible company that's helped thousands and tens of thousands of entrepreneurs around the world build and perfect their sales funnels. In fact, these couple of plaques behind me, they're called 2 Comma Club Awards, and each of them are given for making $1 million through a specific sales funnel. So that's some of the money we've made in our business with the help of ClickFunnels and with Russell's inspiration. So I really love what they're building out there in Boise. He's one of the friends and mentors behind a lot of the people you're probably following online when it comes to like business and marketing, online, etc. Everyone from the 𝐓𝐨𝐲𝐬s to Myron Golden to Brandon and Kaylin Poulin and Lady Boss. Russell was a very big instrumental part in their lives as well as mine in my online business journey. And so that's why I'm excited. I just got the chance to spend 3 days with Russell in Boise the past few days. And I thought it'd be really cool to take some of these principles that I've learned from Russell and his team over the past few years that have helped me make millions, and I want to share them with you today. So lesson number 1 that I learned from Russell that made me millions is that there are so many ways to make money online. All you really need is a proven blueprint and framework, and as long as you have the framework and the blueprint, basically as long as you know the play to run and you actually run it correctly, you can literally make millions of dollars online. I remember years ago, I got one of Russell's books. It was his first one that he put out called .com Secrets. And basically the whole entire book was just about how to make money online. And it was running through all these different plays that you could run. You could do a webinar, you could do this, a 3-day thing, a challenge, build a funnel and marketing and sales. And I was already learning some different marketing and sales stuff at the time, but this book really laid out the frameworks and the blueprints that were needed for me to take the ideas and the concepts like, oh man, it'd be cool, and what if I did this, to actually say, do this, then do this, then do this, and just gave me the step-by-step framework needed in order to begin to build my online business. And I want to talk to you today, like if you're watching on here and you're like, man, I would love to make money online and this and that. There are so many ways to do it. It's less about the niche and it's more about the principles that are business 101, principles like marketing, principles like sales, principles like you have to have a killer offer. Like these basic principles, Russell has had an incredible way of taking these basic principles that are basic at the surface level, but then like really breaking them down and taking the complexity of something that seems basic, but making it so easy to digest. And that's one major thing that I've just appreciated about him and the ClickFunnels community is just learning how to take a framework and just run all the steps. And it's really cool because I actually teach my students a lot of times in frameworks as well. So just the frameworks and blueprints, like the step-by-step, this, then this, then this, I really connected with that, with Russell's teachings and like what are in his books and on his videos and all the different, things that he has out there. I connected with it really strong because that's how I teach. And therefore it's also a big way of how I learn. And I'll tell you right now, just like 2 or 3 plays that I got from the .com Secrets book, literally those plays alone like made me millions. Like the webinar play, Russell has this thing that he always tells his students and his, community, like run a webinar every single week. And I just took that on. I was like, man, I'm doing this. And I began to run a webinar every single week, and just adding on the weekly webinar to what we were doing in our business at the time, like it made us millions of dollars. And not just any kind of webinar. Again, like Russell has frameworks of like, do the webinar like this. I just really appreciate like the coachingness of how he teaches. It's not just like boring, like this, then this, and this. It's like there's a real heart and a real intention to see people succeed behind the frameworks and the information that he's given out there. So the first thing I learned from him was there's tons of ways to make money online. You just need a proven blueprint and a proven framework. Plug your thing into the blueprints, into the frameworks that have worked for others, and then run the play. Hey, I really hope that you're enjoying the video. I want to invite you guys. I have recently created a free training teaching people how to make money online. My students are literally making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and some of them even make hundreds of thousands of dollars, not in a year, but in a single day. If you want more information on how you can get started, all you need is a phone and a laptop. You can go to digitalproductacademy.org, or you can click the link below in the description. Guys, after you watch the free training, if it sounds like it might be something cool for you to check out, you can book a free call with one of my client success coaches, and they'll be able to help you more. Now, back to the video. Lesson number 2. This one, I began to allude to it a little bit earlier with talking about the weekly webinars. If you just post valuable content every single day and you do it for at least a year, you will never have money problems ever again. Guys, it's absolutely true. You know, like a lot of people who are trying to get into the entrepreneurial online business space, you know, they have this false concept that like, I'm going to make a post one time and it's going to go viral. And if it doesn't go viral, then boo-hoo, you know, maybe business is not for me and I give up and, you know, this is so hard and blah, blah, blah. But if you approach the place of online entrepreneurship, online business, online marketing with the idea that I am going to post something valuable every single day for at least a year, then it actually begins to grow you as a person as you're growing your audience. The reason why I say you have to post something valuable every single day is because the difference here is that it has to be something valuable to your community, not just valuable to you. I think a lot of new entrepreneurs and online educators, they make the huge mistake of saying like, I'm going to put this thing out there because it's really cool to me. And really what you're doing is you're making your content about you, right? Like, here's something that is really cool and valuable for me. But what you need to do is reverse engineer who is my ideal person that I would love to serve, and what are their top 5 or 10 problems that they're having right now, and how can I reverse engineer that to now say, here's a piece of content on this problem and how to solve it. Here's a piece of content on that problem and here's how to solve it. Here's a piece of content on this one, and on and on and on and on. And when you begin to post content that is not just for your own like fun, like, well, I think this one's cool and I really like this, but to actually turn it around and say, I am putting out content to help and serve my community. Guys, if you can put out valuable content that literally solves people's problems, at least one per day for a whole entire year, and you're consistent with it, I'm telling you this, you will literally never have money problems again in your life. Your community will begin to grow. Your community will begin to thrive and flourish. And in my own belief and my own conviction, I actually think it's really good to have slow growth over fast growth. And in fact, I would take slow growth that is grown right over fast growth that was done wrong any day. And the best way to have consistent slow growth over time is just to put out those daily, consistent, valuable posts to your community. I'm not just talking about like, well, I posted on Instagram. I'm talking about Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Snapchat, like all these different outlets, LinkedIn, all the different outlets where your potential customers, clients, and community already are. When you begin to just simply put your voice out there consistently in a way that is valuable to them, you will be so surprised how consistency over time actually begins to compound. You need to lose this mentality that like, man, I want to go viral. Like, viral's cool. Viral's awesome, but viral's basically trying to like win the lottery when it comes to serving your community, right? So instead of like hoping you win the lottery, what you should do is reverse engineer their top 5, 10, 15, 20 problems that people in your category, people in your market, in your niche really struggle with, and be consistent to provide them value, solving those problems in your content every single day. If you commit to this for at least a year, I'm telling you right now, your community is going to grow, and the bigger your community grows, the more money you can make online. Lesson number 3 that I learned from Russell, and I don't think I've ever directly heard him say this, but I've just seen this about him and his life. In business, marketing is king. And you know, I think a lot of people would argue to say Russell is probably one of the greatest marketers alive today, you know, maybe that's ever lived. Like, he's so good. He's given himself for decades to really master this skill of marketing. And so much so to where, like, he's helped, like I mentioned earlier, he's helped a ton of people that you follow online really dial in their marketing. You know, when it comes to business, the reason why I say that, you know, when it comes to business, marketing is king and Russell's one of the best at marketing is simply because if you don't have traffic, right? There's a saying that says everything in business is downstream from lead generation. If you don't know how to get your message out there to the market, right? If you don't have a message to market match to where what you're saying is resounding with people that you desire to serve, if you don't have that and they're not coming in to through different pipelines, okay, it's going to be really hard to like try to continue the relationship with them and get them to buy stuff from you if you don't know how to get the word out. Yo, guys, we have this cool thing, or, you know, I would love to help you. I'd love to solve your problem. If you don't know the creative and new and innovative ways on how to reach people and how to generate value in the market and how to bring that traffic over to your ecosystem, you're going to have a really hard time having a business. And so it is my conviction, yes, sales are important. Yes, the offer is extremely important. But I really do think that when it comes to business, marketing is king. Here's how I think about it, okay? I think first people have to be marketed to. And by the way, please don't confuse marketing and sales, right? I think a lot of people, they try to sell in their marketing when they should just be marketing in a way, providing value in a way that people simply are intrigued, they've received value, and they go, wow, that was really cool. And then by their own decision, not by my decision forcing them to, but by their own decision, they raise their hand, they go, hey, would you tell me more? That sounds awesome. That's good marketing. Whenever you've provided such value to your market that the market is like really curious, like, wow, that sounds cool. Like, would you tell me more? That's the purpose of marketing, right? Like, just to simply get somebody to raise their hand and request more information. I think a lot of times people confuse the marketing and sales piece and they put too much selling in their marketing. Hey, everybody, like, here's my offer, buy it right now. Like, what? I don't have a relationship with you. Like, who is this guy? Who is this gal? This doesn't make any sense. Why would I buy from you? I don't even know you. But imagine if you were to market to them by putting out all of these incredible pieces of value every single day to the point where they're like, wow, she's a real master at this. He's a real genius at this. She really knows what she's talking about. He really knows what he's talking about. Man, I would love more information, right? So marketing it's how to get the traffic buzzing, right? How to provide value to the market and then bring all of this traffic into your ecosystem. And then after marketing, after everyone gathers around who raise their hand, then you go to sales. And of course, the sale is connected to the offer. The offer has to be good, because if it's not good, no one's going to buy, right? So, but all of it is hinging on this big piece of marketing to where you have like the blowhorn and you're trying to get your message out to the masses. And if you don't know how to do that, you're really going to struggle in your business. So remember, when it comes to business, marketing is king. And lesson number 4, this is the one that I told you at the beginning of the video. This was the most mind-blowing for me. This is the one that made me the most money, okay? Lesson number 4 is this. Every single one of us have limiting beliefs, okay? Limiting beliefs in our mind at every single level of our journey, whether you're just beginning in your online business journey, whether you've been at it for a while, or whether you are, you know, an 8-figure entrepreneur like myself, right? Like, so like I told you guys, I was just able to spend a few days with Russell at this mastermind training. And I was asking him a question. And in my question, I was saying some things and talking and asking my question. And he interrupts me and goes, wait. That's a limiting belief. And I was like, huh? He goes, what you just said is a limiting belief. And I said, huh, it is. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out to me. It is a limiting belief. And, you know, I'm the guy who's always on here online, like telling people we got to crush our limiting beliefs. And I love that Russell, even at the level that he's at, you know, their company, it's well known. Their company does hundreds of millions every single year. And, you know, my company does pretty well. Even at higher levels, we still have limiting beliefs that we may or may not recognize in our entrepreneurial journey. And it takes a coach, it takes a mentor like that who's been there, done that, to recognize that in their students and in their people and say, yo, wait, before you go any further, that's a limiting belief, right? Every single one of us, our only limitation is what we believe that we can achieve, right? Like I always tell my students, like you have to believe it before you can seize it, right? Like you have to first believe that it's possible. Like I've had the privilege of being able to do many six-figure days, right? I've even been able to do 7 figures in one single day. Many of my students have had 6-figure days, right? Many of my students have had 5-figure days, making 10,000 a day, 50,000 in a day, 20,000 in a day. And none of that would be possible if we didn't first believe that it was possible. Like how in the world did I make $1 million in one day? I had to first believe that it was possible to make $1 million in one day. And you might be watching here going, what? That's impossible. Or man, he's lying, or this has to be fake, or that there's no way. I'm telling you, like that is a limiting belief. All of those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from believing that it's possible, they're holding you back from impacting the people that you feel called to serve and making and generating the wealth and income that you desire to make. The same way that all of my limiting beliefs hold me back from serving people at the level I want to serve them and making the money that I desire to make as well. So guys, it's at every single level of the journey. You don't have to sit here feeling like, oh man, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it. Like, dude, hire a coach, hire a mentor, like get plugged in to trainings, to mentorships, buy a course, buy a book. It doesn't even have to be like an expensive thing. Like go listen to a podcast, go watch a YouTube video, like do something to begin to expand your mindset, because if your mindset doesn't grow, your wallet will not grow. In fact, your wallet is directly connected to your mindset. This is why professional athletes who like come from, you know, the trailer park, or, you know, they're coming from the ghettos or the streets or whatever it is, they'll get these huge $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million contracts. And literally in just a couple of years, they go dead broke. Why? Because the money went up and the mindset stayed down. Same thing goes for lottery winners, right? Like, I won the lottery, right? And okay, cool, you just won $100 million, but just because the money went up doesn't mean that it's going to stay up. Why do most lottery winners go broke within the first 1 to 2 years? Because the wallet went up, but the mindset stayed down. So I want to encourage you, just like Russell encouraged me this past week, whatever limiting beliefs that you have, that you are fighting for, okay? If you have a limiting belief that you're fighting for, you get to keep it, right? And I want to encourage you right now, whatever limiting beliefs that you are believing in right now, that you are allowing to give purpose over your life, I want to encourage you, you need to stop believing in your limitations, because your limitations don't believe in you. Okay. All of us need to grow our mindset to the next level if we desire to impact the people that we want to impact and make and generate the wealth and money and riches that we desire to make. All right, guys, there you have it. Those were the 4 lessons I learned from Russell Brunson that made me millions of dollars. Let me know down in the comments which of these stood out to you the most. I would love to just hear where you're at in your journey. All of us are at different places, right? Maybe you're going through 1 or 2 or 3, or maybe all of these different things. And maybe, you know, I would just love to hear if a light bulb went off for you or whatever. And also let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about online business, entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, putting together your offer, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can down here in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next training, and we'll see you soon.